Give yourself grace. I speak on this all the time because I think as women, we do not give ourselves enough grace. We give so much grace to everybody else for things that they do, whether they hurt our feelings, make us mad, whatever it is. We give them grace, we forgive them, but we don't give it to ourselves.
Welcome to the Wealth and Wellness All Women Rock podcast, hosted by me, Tamera, the CEO and founder of All Women Rock Global. Join me on this journey as we explore topics, conversations, and interviews related to wealth and wellness. Let's get started.
Hey girl, hey, thank you so much for listening to the Wealth and Wellness podcast by All Women Rock. I am your host, yours truly, Tamera. Thank you so much once again for listening to our podcast. I have a special giveaway for you. We are giving away an Amazon gift card, $25 to a listener. If you take the time out, all you got to do is go to whatever platform you listen to the Wealth and Wellness podcast by All Women Rock, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google. Leave us a review, subscribe to our podcast, send us a screenshot to tamera@allwomenrockglobal.com. I'm going to leave the email address in the show notes, but it's tamera@allwomenrockglobal.com. Send me a screenshot of your review and we're going to pick a lucky winner. We're going to pick someone, and I want to do this for every episode that we release just to say thank you. And we're going to announce the winner on the next episode, so you have to subscribe to know if you won. So all you have to do, once again, is leave us a review. Let us know how much you enjoy, what you like about the podcast, and send us a screenshot to tamera@allwomenrockglobal. And we're going to pick a lucky winner. We'll send you an email let you know you won, as well as announce it on our next podcast episode. So we will go ahead and get started. On today's episode, it's just going to be me, but I'm going to be talking about permission slips. This is actually a replay from our summit that we had last year, our entrepreneur summit we had last year in October, where we brought over about 20 different entrepreneurs. It was a virtual summit, online virtual summit, entrepreneur summit, helping women in business plan, strategize, and grow their online business. So in the beginning, during our kickoff call, I opened up sharing a message about permission slips. And I'm not talking about the ones we get at school, but just giving you the opportunity to give yourself permission, give yourself grace for whatever it may be in life. So we'll go ahead and get started. Permission slips. Permission slips are given normally in school to give us permission to go somewhere. On today, I want to give you permission slips for you. Permission slips. The first permission slip I want to give you is permission to not be perfect. Oftentimes we think we have to be perfect with everything we do for our business. We will start on our website. We will start on a podcast, whatever it may be. I'm not going to do it until it's perfect. It will never be perfect. The idea is to get started with what you have now. So on today, I'm giving you permission to know it won't be perfect. Just move forward with what you have now. The next permission slip I want to give you is the permission to not to compare. It is so easy to look on social media or at our friends' success and be like, wow, I wish I was there. I'm falling behind. I need to get my weight up. I need to do this. I need to do that. On today, sis, I'm giving you permission to not compare. Do not compare your now to where they are now. You do not know the things that they've been through. You do not know the hurdles they've had to overcome to get to where they are right now. Don't compare yourself. Give yourself grace. I speak on this all the time because I think as women, we do not give ourselves enough grace. We give so much grace to everybody else for things that they do, whether they hurt our feelings, make us mad, whatever it is. We give them grace, we forgive them, but we don't give it to ourselves. On today, you have permission Do not compare yourself to anyone else. You don't know what that person, that woman, that man went through to get to where they are. I was listening to a podcast episode, and also I saw this on YouTube a few years ago. Michael Jordan stated that people often look at my highlights, but they never talk about the shots that I missed. I missed way more shots than I won. I forgot the exact number that he listed, but that was the message that he was giving. You're going to miss. You're going to mess up. People just look at highlight reels and just be like, oh my God, this person is making it, but you don't know what they had to go through to get there. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Use what you have. You have the permission to not be perfect. You have the permission to not compare. The third one is, I'm going to give you permission to do it afraid. Sometimes it is so scary to step out on faith and release the gifts that we have been given, our purpose, our destiny, whatever you want to call it. And we don't do it because we're afraid. We're afraid of what someone might say. We're afraid of what someone might think. We're afraid, I might not have it all together. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Here's your permission slip, sis. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Do it. I guarantee you there is somebody out there that needs to hear, that needs to listen, that needs to read to whatever the gift that you have been gifted with. Do it afraid. I know it's scary. I know. But I am giving you a permission slip on today. Do not put it off any longer. Do it afraid. The next permission slip I want to give you is the permission to get started with what you have now. We do this so often. We do this all the time. I need this. I need my website. I need a podcast. I need a graphic designer. I need a social media assistant. I need an administrative assistant. You don't need all that. Use what you have now. Stop looking to have everything together. I need this. I need to learn this. I need to go on YouTube. I need to buy this course. I need to do this. I need to do that. No. Use what you have now. Use the gifts and talents you have now. You can record a podcast with your phone. You can go to Canva and create your graphics for absolutely free. You don't have to have all that lined up because Sally Sue says she has all that. You don't have to do all that. Use what you have now. You will get those things later on. Use what you have now. Use the tools you have access to now. The next one, I want to give you a permission slip to fail. I know you might be thinking, permission slip to fail? Yes, I am giving you a permission slip to fail because it is going to happen. A lot of times we won't start because we're afraid we are going to fail. I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. I'm afraid it's not going to work out. I'm afraid if I do it, nobody's going to watch. Nobody's going to listen. That might happen, but it's not the failures that we look at. It's the success. Learn from the failures. Learn from those. Ooh, that didn't work. So let me try it this way. And know that failure would happen because guess what? That is part of the journey. Failing is part of the journey. There is little to few people that I can think of that might be out here that start a business and they're able to get everything perfect along the way. You will have some failures. You will have some mess ups. Things will happen. There have been times I have lost money because of things that I've tried to do in my business that did not work. But you cannot get stuck there. You cannot get stuck there. You have to progress forward. Let me ask you this. Is there anything you had written out that you wanted to do in December, January, whenever you wrote out these things that you wanted to accomplish for 2022? That you might have, one of these different things that I have given you permission slips for might have happened. You might have given up because you were comparing yourself to someone else. You might have been afraid to get started. You might been thinking, I need this to get started. I need that. I need this. If you have mentally went through one of those hurdles, now is the time to let it go and just do it. Just get started. Because I know, as women, oftentimes we go through so much mentally. We carry so much on our backs. We have so much to do. And we're afraid, I am going to fail. I started a business back whenever it may be. That didn't work out. I'm afraid it might happen again. You will fail, but the goal is to learn from your mistakes. We got to learn from them. The next one I want to give you is a permission slip to be okay. You have permission to be okay. Oftentimes we just carry, as I stated, so much mental weight within our head. We carry so much. It's going to be okay, sis. It will be okay. It will all fall in place. It's so funny because the other day I was preparing something for my daughter. She's actually about to go to Jackson State University for college. And I was trying to think of all the things that she needed. And then I was thinking, okay, I also need to go to the gym because we're going out of town on vacation. Got a few pounds I want to get rid of. I'm thinking about my eating habits. And I'm also thinking about, what else was it? Okay, I need to do some yoga so I can get my mind right. And my business stuff I was thinking about. And I was like, oh, and another thing. I have clutter really, really bad. I deal with clutter, paper everywhere. That's just something I just gonna admit. And I was like, I need to get this done. I need to get that. I need to go by the container store to get a few containers so I can get all this together. I'm like, wait a minute. How can you possibly have all it together? Give yourself grace and know that it's gonna be okay. I'm just like, okay, let me give myself breathe. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want you to know it is okay. Everything will not fall in place. There will be mess ups. Another thing that I'm just thinking of that's coming to my mind, sometimes we deal with so much hurt from people, or we deal from hurt from ourselves. Like, I failed, I messed up, I cannot do this again. I'll just continue to do my job. Just whatever the bare minimum I need to do to get by. Because I'm struggling with so much hurt, so much failure within myself. Sis, it is okay. It is going to be okay. You now have the permission to move forward. Let all of that go. Get all of that out of your head. It is going to be okay. So I'm going to go over them once again for you. These are our permission slips. You have them. Your access has been granted on today. You have your permission slip. You can move forward. You have the permission to know that you will not be perfect. It will not be perfect. You have the permission to not compare. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. I've said this before. Sometimes we need to maybe unfollow a few people that we often compare ourselves to, and maybe replace those with some people that we're inspired by. It's just getting tunnel vision for ourselves. The permission to not compare, the permission to do it afraid. It will be scary. Entrepreneurship is not a cool breeze at all. But I want you to be able to do it afraid. I'm afraid, but I know I got this. I have the permission to get started with what I have now. All of the things will not be lined up. If you go back and look at so many entrepreneurs and when they first got started, like, man, the quality of where they are now does not even look, wow. Looking back at where they were then, it's like, man, she was kind of struggling a little bit. But look at her now. But guess what? She did it afraid, and she used the tools that she had access to then. You'll get the other ones as you move along. You'll get access to those once you move along. You never know. And I often talk about networking. We need to network more. Step outside of our comfort zone. Meet someone new. Be like, hey, sometimes we can barter, but that's just a side note. You have permission to get started with what you have now. You also have a permission slip to fail, because you will fail, sis. You're going to fail. You also have the permission slip to be okay. It is going to be okay. Quit trying to carry all of that in your head mentally, thinking, I need to get this, I need to do that. Whatever goal there was that you wrote down this year, last year, that you have not done because of all of this stuff that you've held in your head mentally, let all of that go and get started now. Your permission has been granted. Do not be held back. Do not be held back. That some things will come up, but if you are focused, I need you to stay focused. Stay focused. It will be okay. You have your permission slips. The links will be listed in the show notes. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for listening to the Wealth and Wellness Podcast by All Women Rock. Thank you. As I stated previously, leave us a review. Send us a screenshot of your review, and you'll be entered to win a $25 Amazon gift card. The winner will be notified via email, and we're going to also announce you and share your review on our next episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, sis.